Hey there everyone, my name is Monkey Sharpno from the Guys Who Play Games, back with some more Pokemon Crystal. Ooh, man, it's been a while. It is a Saturday, it's a Saturday night in fact, and that's actually why I left and I went into the Pokemon Center and left, because if you, obviously the map doesn't reset when you reload until you actually leave the map. Yeah, Santos talks like a ghost story, but in Heart Gold Soul Silver he just gives you sand for some reason. I don't know why they made that change, but yeah. So maps don't reload when you load a save. So I have to go in and out to actually put Santos in the map. That actually does lead to a one unique interaction where, for the day of the week siblings, if you save next to them or just stay in the map or whatever, and the time changes, you can still talk to them, and they'll actually react to the fact that it isn't the right day of the week. They'll be like, oh, it's, he'll be like, ugh, it's not Saturday. And that's the only way to see that, because obviously any other time you walk into the map, they're just not there, if it's not Saturday. Or, the right day, I guess, you know what I mean. Anyways, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the game. I'm gonna say that I don't think this part of the game is that bad, but I can't deny that the radio tower, I like the idea of, this is something that Gold does, or, Gen 2 likes to do, where areas change at certain points, but it's and it's cool that it's oh, a city's been taken over, essentially. It's cool, but it's it is, I mean, for one thing, you can't do Buena. Fun fact, Buena has, if you get 30 points for Buena to get her phone number before this happens, she does have unique dialogue for phone calls, which is kind of a fun little thing. But yeah, no, all the Goldenrod radio tower takeover is cool. But there's a lot, there's some nice train, this train having an Arbok is nice, it's at least a little bit of variety, but it's it really is just more of the same. It's just rocket grunts in this game just sometimes feel like they could stand to have a little more variety. I get that the idea is they use common mons, but I think it's kind of weird that Team Rocket is personified as stealing Pokemon, but then they always use the same stuff. It's are they really just stealing? Does every trainer they steal from just using Rattatas and Raticates? You know what I mean? Come on. There are at least optional trainers in here, but you don't really want to avoid them because, money and experience. And once these guys are gone, you can't refight them, obviously. And you do get opportunities like this where I can set up a defense curl rollout combo, which is nice. But it's just basically the problem is the event itself is cool, and I like that there's a bit of there's a bit of variety to it in locale, because you have to go underground eventually, and you find different people. You have to find the key. The rival shows up. It's all cool, but it's just the rocket grunts themselves do kind of suck, because it's just they don't use a lot of variety in Pokemon. This guy is just 5 Rattatas, for God's sake, and they're so low level at this point. I'm not sure why they're so low level. They're lower level than the gym trainers we've been fighting way before this. These guys could have been in basically on the routes after Morty, basically, and they'd be very reasonable to fight. They make the rocket grunts really weak in this game. I feel it's just the problem. It's not even necessarily the variety of Pokemon. It's the variety of Pokemon and the fact that they're so weak. If it was level 30 Rattata, it's well, at least that'd be something. But it's man, low 20s. It really does just kind of suck for that. I don't think I say the variety's not that bad. There are a lot. Rattata is just kind of a reoccurring problem in this game in general. There's so many Rattata everywhere. It doesn't help that Crystal amps it up. There's even more Rattata in Crystal. They put Rattata, I know I've mentioned this many times, but they really did just kind of put Rattata everywhere in Crystal. Because I feel compared to a lot of third versions, Crystal didn't really try to improve stuff necessarily. It just tried to change a lot of things. Like I said, plenty of times, it really leans into the day-night cycle, which is why Rattata's everywhere, because hey, easy Pokemon to put at nighttime is rats. Because rats are everywhere and they tend to be more nocturnal. Team Rocket was forced to disband. Disband? I said... I can't even say words right. Imagine. Guy who records videos. Hey look, it's Grimer. This is something I'll give credit to Coliseum and XD, is that the fact that they're like an even organization, they actually... to be fair though, those games would... Coliseum and XD would be awful if they didn't, because you fight, especially in XD, you fight the peons for most of the game, because that's like the plot of the game is just you're fighting Cypher. So if they didn't have a good variety of Pokemon, that game would be miserable. Like, Coliseum is already kind of a slog, especially at the early game. But at least it's not a slog because you fight the same Pokemon over and over again. It's a slog because, you know, like the first 3 dungeons are all back to back and you just fight trainers like non-stop. And you're at a point in the game where all the trainers are really weak and using unevolved Pokemon because all you can do at that point is use shadows, so they can't give you strong fights because you wouldn't be able to you can't level up for it. So that is something that XD does a lot better than Coliseum, is it lets you purify shadow Pokemon like very quickly. It doesn't help that Coliseum is like, oh, you know, you can purify Pokemon now, but oh, you just go to Mount Battle right now. Like they like tell you, like they're like, oh yeah, you know, you can, like it's so offhand, like yeah, you can purify Pokemon, but then they are just like telling you go to Mount Battle and do that stuff, and it's like, man, if you fight Dakim before you like purify any of your shadow Pokemon, it's like that's gonna be rough. Because like Dakim uses legendaries and like Earthquake and stuff, it's like, man. I have a lot of thoughts about Coliseum and XD. I don't know if I'll ever play those games on channel, because like they are so slow. They're like I would really have to have a lot of stuff to talk about. Otherwise, it's just dead air. And I mean that's not necessarily the worst. It can just be a casual playthrough. But like that really is the biggest problem with those games, is that they're using stadium animations, which are very slow, but you can't turn them off, so you're stuck with them the whole time. Like people love the 3D, like the old, like Stadium 1, Stadium 2, Coliseum, XD, and Battle Revolution for how great the animations are for the actual, like I should say the 3D animations, because, you know, I think there was a lot of controversy back a while ago, back when Sword and Shield were like being made, where people were talking about like they said, I think Game Freak, there was like an interview where they said they were focusing on making the animations look better, and people were like, nah, lies, the animations still look like shit. And it's like, I think part of that problem is that what people consider, like when they said animations, I think Game Freak thinks of the whole bloody thing, whereas when a lot of people just think of it as just the actual like animation of the actual Pokemon. Like, it's like even in this game when you can turn off animations, and it's not like the actual Pokemon are animated. They're just static sprites, but the move animations themselves have a lot of flair to them. I'm not that I'm like making excuses or anything like that, you know. I'm just saying I think people tend to misunderstand, especially because a lot of that stuff tends to be just kind of said in passing. Like they're just interviewing these people and they just say whatever they're thinking at that point, you know what I mean? It reminds me of all the No Man's Sky controversy, where it's like you're interviewing the lead of a game about the stuff he may or may not put into the game, and then when some of the stuff doesn't end up being in the game, they call him a liar. And it's like, well, maybe they did plan on putting it in the game, they just didn't get around to it. That's so common in game development. That's kind of the unfortunate thing about games, is they can't just sit in development forever, because unless it's a fan game, the people making it have lives, they have schedules, the fans have expectations, especially a thing, like, look at, whatchamacallit, what's the name of that game? I don't even remember the name of the game is, the bug game, Silk Song. Why can't I remember the actual, like, name of that series? Where it's been in development for a super long time, and it's like, to me, it's like, being in development for a long time is a good thing, like take your time making the game. But also like there are games where obviously it didn't work out, like Duke Nukem, you know, that infamous game. But like more often than not, I would say, isn't it better for them to take their time? Like fuck, isn't that what people have been complaining about with Pokemon forever? Is that like the game schedules have remained relatively static throughout the years? It's always like they take generally 3 years to make the games, which is actually like kind of funny that Bungie themselves are very much the same thing. Every Halo game that Bungie ever made was 3 years, except for ODST. And I think like 3 years is a pretty decent time, but like I think, admittedly, for Pokemon, I think they could definitely stand to take an extra year. And they have at times. Like I think Diamond Pearl specifically, they did actually take 4 years. Something like that. And obviously the original Red Blue took like 6 years or something, like 5 or 6 years to come out. But that's partially because that game's development was just like a roller coaster, and they were like they also just weren't only working on Pokemon, they were working on other stuff too. And they're obviously a very small team. I mean, even this game, I always like to bring this up, that this game has 4 programmers in the credits. Only 4? Like, that's nuts. To have 4 programmers making your entire game. Like, the Game Freak has always historically been, kind of funny enough, more of like a team of like graphic artists and whatnot. Like, they handle so many other things, designers and planners and stuff. So it is funny that for a long time they were such a small, like, is this the Porygon guy? Hell yeah! Look at that animation. Porygon's crystal animation's so good. The way it like turns transparent, you can see like the actual polygons. So good. Anyways, I think I just kind of got lost in the sauce there for a bit. I was just kind of talking non-stop for the last couple minutes there. Grass type. Oh, big mistake. You became resistant to my primary type. I don't actually know how Conversion 2 works on that regard. It might just pick one of my types at random. I don't think it only picks the primary type, because you would think, like, that would make it terrible. Nah. Takedown's one of those moves I feel like never ends up being useful in any game, because it never comes soon enough, I feel like. Like, I think it's like 90 power, or is it like 85? I think it's 85 in this game, and it's like... So it's slightly stronger than Headbutt, but in exchange it has a downside instead of an upside. And it's inaccurate, like... It's just not a great move for what it's trying to be. See, I could use Densaurus, but I know this guy's about to have a team of like 6 coughing, so we're definitely going to just use Jinx. I think this guy's hilarious, the fact that he just has a team and like they all know self-destruct, and I think his Weezing knows Explosion. It is a funny thing to have as like a team. Although, I think part of the problem is that the AI... The problem is the way the AI is set up in this game. Whew, I'm getting the gas. The way the AI is set up, they tend to kind of not want to blow up. Like, it's a little weird. The AI is weird because it's set up to, like, it has, like, there's, like, 2 different AI layers that check for, like, when they want to blow up. And there's one layer that kind of always tries to make them not want to blow up, unless they're, like, really low on health. And it kind of makes them, like, more reluctant than they really should be, I feel like. You can actually look at this on the Crystal GitHub, and, like, there's actually a tutorial for fixing this, because it mentions that, like, the smart AI already accounts for this. But the smart AI, I think, is actually kind of dragged down by it as a byproduct. Taking a drink here. Try not to smack my lips in front of the camera, so I'm blocking my mouth. You can tell they knew what the levels were, too, because this executive uses level 30s. Like, this is actually more of, like, akin to, like, a trainer at this point. Like, this guy's actually a little tougher than, like, even some of the random trainers we would be fighting. Nice. One of the weaknesses of Psychic types in this game is that you don't get Psychic until post-game, because Mr. Psychic is in Kanto, obviously. So, you don't really get... If a Psychic type doesn't learn Psychic by level up, you're kind of SOL for a while. I mean, even the Psychic team itself can be a little limited. Like, does Golduck learn Psychic in Gen 2? I'm not sure. I think it can learn it by breeding, but I actually don't remember. Now they tell you to go underground. Go dig a ditch, buddy. What was I even gonna talk about? Like, I got so lost in the sauce there for a while. That was like a full-on tangent of just like, I found a new topic with each conversation. Like, that's funny. I feel like I didn't get to like fully explain myself on any of that stuff because of that. Like, I'm sure there's something I said that's like, what are you talking about, you hokey pokey? You can go underground though. It is kind of funny, if you haven't gone underground at this point, if you avoided the underground up until this point, you have to fight this guy who uses like single digit level Pokemon. He uses like level 6 and like, what is it, like level 8 and level 12 or something like that. It's like the most pointless fight in the game if you haven't done anything up until this point. Anyways, we finally get to see the rival's new team, which includes that Sneasel he stole, which I love. I wonder how many people ever realize this. It's one of those things I think isn't super obvious, because like, the guy does say, you know, oh, some red-haired kid stole my Pokemon, but obviously if you don't talk to him, you wouldn't know this. Especially because Sneasel is like obviously quite rare in this game, right? I'm sitting at an awkward angle because I have to fart. And I don't want to fart directly onto my chair. Who did we pick? We picked Totodile, so he's using Chikorita. That's probably fine. I guess I'll set up a Defense Curl rollout. I might as well. Nice crit, jackass. That's fine, because I'm going to Defense Curl. Now you'll do way less damage without critting me. I really do appreciate the Rivals team. I like how, like, they kind of play into it. He uses some, like, obviously the Zubat Golbat is, like, very common Team Rocket Pokemon. Oh, God. And even, like, Haunter and Kadabra feel very fitting for his team. Like, it just feels like Pokemon he would use, you know what I mean? What's the other Pokemon he uses? I already forget what his team is, actually. Sneasel's obviously, like, Sneasel's, like, perfect for the rival. It's, like, it's kind of funny he gets it by stealing it from someone, because it's such a, like, perfect Pokemon for him. And then Magnemite's just, like, another kind of one of those, like, Pokemon that's, like, it's just, like, I feel like of his team, Magnemite is probably the Pokemon you could remove the most. That would be, like, you know, you don't really miss it, because it feels like just, like, but, like, at the same time, it does link to the scientists that are in Team Rocket, because scientists like to use Magnemite. So it feels like his team is partially inspired by Team Rocket and partially, like, just inspired by, like, his, like, edgy, funny to say the word edgy, his edgy appearance. Sure. But Sneasel's, like, perfect for him. This fits the rival to a T. Do you suppose Sneasel lives a rock throw? It's not stab, I could also miss. It's not stab, but I do have the Heartstone, and also Sneasel is obviously paper thin defense. One weakness the rival does have is I think his Pokemon mostly have level up move pools until I think like the final fight. And Sneasel in particular is hit very hard by this because its level up move pool is pretty like weak. Like it basically just learns like Feint Attack and like Slash. I don't think Sneasel learns any ice moves by level up, actually. I don't think that's I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for Pokemon not learn a stab move. I think that's something that a lot of people get hung up on. I don't like. I know I talked about this a lot with the physical specialists, but I don't like that so many Pokemon nowadays feel just like stab machines and nothing else. Because it's just boring to me. It feels like it limits creativity when you like it basically feels like you have to use a stab move because like the difference is just too much, you know. Like stab absolutely should exist because it otherwise there's no reason to use the moves that are the same type as you. Right? But I think 50% is too much. Like I think lowering it to 25 or even 33% is fine. I just think 50% is just too much. Like 33% or 25, somewhere in that ballpark is like it makes your move stronger, so it encourages it, but it isn't like you're not shoehorned into it, you know what I mean? Because obviously there's, like, you know, a lot of people love to point out that Gengar is obviously perfectly fine without Stab. Gengar is actually, like, one of the most consistent Pokemon throughout this series. But, like, it's funny that, obviously in Gen 4, it suddenly becomes, I already talked about this, Gengar becomes a Shadow Ball machine in Gen 4 onward. There's no reason not to use Shadow Ball, because it's so bloody strong on Gengar. Especially because Ghost is such a neutral type. Like, normal is immune, and then, you know, for a few gens, Steel resists it, Dark resists it, and I think that's it, right? It's just kind of one of those things. It's like, there's no reason not to. Where's the other? Right, it's over here, but you can't get to that side. You always have to go through this top entrance. I always forget about that. That one jerk-ass rocket guy is just blocking the way to the game corner. Like, it's kind of funny. It's like the anti-Gen 1 guy. He doesn't want you to gamble. What's my team looking like? I guess we'll leave Dunsparce in front. I had thought about who my next teammate was going to be. I wasn't quite sure. I do know what it's going to be now, but I can say who I know it's not going to be. I thought about using Dodrio a little bit, but I feel like if I put Dodrio on the team, it would basically just replace Dunsparce. Because, like, the Dojo trade is honestly, like, really good, I feel like. Especially because of a reason I'll show in a little bit. A benefit you get in Crystal, I guess just in Gen 2 that you don't get in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I don't know if we'll actually get to that in this video or if it'll be the next video, but it's something exclusive to the Gen 2 games that got removed in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And it's kind of a weird, like, it's a very unique thing, because it's I will spoiler this. I will give a mild spoiler here. It's related to, it's not related, but it's similar to the Quillfish Swarm, where it's related to fishing being weird in a certain spot. And if you know, you probably immediately know what I'm talking about. But if you don't know, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. It's one of those kind of things, you know? If Muck just barely lived a headbutt, surely Coughing doesn't. Coughing has good defense, but it's obviously... Wow, damn! Alright, respect... Damn, he really did just blow up, huh? I'll give you that. Oh, there's the Rattata! Always gotta have a Rattata. I do like that the female grunts tend to use, like, Gloom and Oddish and stuff. They tend to use... He learns Takedown too, that's funny. Is that just like the Gen 2 move of the year? Everyone just wants to learn Takedown? I was sunk by indecision. I do find it funny that even in Universe, this Rocket Grunt is just like, what the hell is up with these buttons? Like, why? This button is... This room is so bizarre. And not just in Universe, but even in, like, the game code. Like... The programming for, like, the map file for this room specifically is, like, quite large compared to the rooms around it. And the rooms around it also have to have a bunch of, like... Because, like, this is handled by, like, a bunch of flags, basically. And, like, all the rooms you can go to, like, the next room and the previous room both have to have a map script that plays when you enter that basically just resets all the flags. Oh, another Muck. I do like all the, like, you know, in classic Johto, look at all these under-leveled Mucks, you know, level 24 Muck. You can probably find this in Kanto if I had to guess. I don't remember where, but I'm thinking about it, you can probably, like, get them in Celadon City, because that's, the water there has, like, low-level Mucks and Grimers. So you can get those yourself once you go to Kanto, which is always fun. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and heal. Part of me is like, I don't necessarily need to go heal, but like, if I wasn't poisoned, I would take it. But like, I don't want to deal with this poison. Dunsparce is just not gonna do anything for the next couple fights then. And I like having my options open. It's not a big deal. It takes like a minute to save, or to heal. Also, it's bad on my eyes. I am glad that they made sure the flash starting in Gen 2 right away was less eye bleeding. Like, it's not, it like blinks, but it's not a bright white, it's like a dull white, you can tell. It's almost more of like a grayish white, which immediately makes the move way less like seizure inducing, you know? I'm sure right after the Porygon episode that literally gave a bunch of kids in Japan seizures, they probably immediately were like, Okay, we gotta start taking this stuff more seriously. That's always a fun topic. It is funny that ever since that episode, Porygon doesn't get to show up in the anime anymore, even though it wasn't even Porygon's fault. Alright, we're gonna hit the buttons. Obviously the order is 3, 2, 1, but we're gonna see if we can get that smoke ball too. I'll do that after I beat the 2... Actually, no, we'll just do the buttons now. So I think what you're supposed to do for the smoke ball is you basically do... It's like 3, 2, 1, 2, 3... 2, 1, maybe? I forget if that's the order. I think that is actually the order. Yeah, you do that to get the smoke ball. Smoke ball is pretty obscure because obviously they don't tell you how to do it. Like, this is what I mean. Like, Heart Gold Soul Silver actually greatly simplified this room by basically just redesigning to be just... But you push a button and it changes the shutter doors. In this game, it's actually, like, quite complicated. Like I said, the map file for this room is like there's no tutorial on it, and I've never seen anyone try to like adapt this to anything other than just leaving it the same. Like it's like I've seen people talk about it, and it's always just like every time I see someone bring up this room, they're always just like, I don't want to fuck with this room because I don't know how to. Like, it's very funny, I think. I also think it's funny that they put burglars in here and they just also use coffins because, yeah, they use Pokemon that knows smoke screen. That's the joke. This game has a weird kind of, like, by coincidence, they have the burglars who use Pokemon that learn smoke screen, which includes Coughing and Magmar. And then they have fire breathers who also kind of use Pokemon that breathe fire and give off smoke, which happens to be Pokemon that can learn smoke screen. So the fire breathers also have Coughing and Magmar. Like, these two trainer types basically use the same type of Pokemon. They're both pretty rare though. Like, it's not like it's that big a deal or anything. Like I think that I want to say one of these trainers uses a. Like, I think this guy uses fire types and not Coughing, but I could be wrong. I want to say this one of these guys has a slightly more exotic Pokemon. Yeah, he uses Growlithe. There you go. I think Growlithe learns... Surely Growlithe learns Smokescreen, right? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it does. Watch this burn. I used the wrong move. Well, you know what? That's fine. Oh, wow. I one-shot him anyways? I should have just headbutted then. Oh, he does. He is... Okay, just get the flinch and my mistake will be genius. I mean, if you miss, that works too, I guess. Oh. See, that's greed. I wanted to save headbutt PP, so I went for a rollout, and then I missed. That's hubris, actually. That's hubris. I'm not gonna run out of headbutt PP anyways, but you know. So what did I do? I did 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. What if I do 2, 1 again? I think that's probably just gonna completely fuck it up, if I had to guess. Because I still have no idea how this bloody room works. I'm just gonna reset it. It's much easier to just reset it. This room is wild. I still have no idea how anything works. Like, what's crazy about it is the fact that it isn't just different switches do different things. The fact that the order you press them in changes things. Like, that's what's wild. Like, 3, 2, 1 is the order that lets you get through. And then, you know, doing 3, 2, 1, 2, 3 lets you get the smoke ball. And it's like, how are you ever supposed to figure that out? Like, it's like, how do you even, like, is there other solutions to this? I wouldn't even know. It's actually such a crazy room. Okay, I know this lady uses Gloom, so we're gonna switch to Steelix. You don't have that scared. Look, I'll give you something to be scared about. I think this is actually, like, surprisingly consistent, too. I think does every single Lady Grunt use some sort of Gloom or Oddish Pokemon? Oh boy. I just got owned. I guess we're going Jinx. No! The double sleep powder? That's insane. I actually am in shock. You know what? Gyarados, this is your turn. You're still higher level than everything. You got this, buddy. The double sleep powder is actually insane. If this was competitive, I would have been like in disbelief. Even though, you know, Smogon has sleep claws generally, but like a lot of people I think get confused by sleep claws. They think like it's some like it's just done like that for like quality of life, but like I'm pretty sure the entire reason why sleep claws was ever implemented to begin with is because the actual official stadium games already had that, right? Those games properly had Sleepy nerfed to where it's only 1 to 3 turns in those games and there's sleep claws. How could you? Do I have a sleep cure berry? I have a mint berry. I do have a fill. Fuck it. Actually, there's nah, I don't want to go back. I'll just use my mint berry too. There you go. This is what I saved that mint berry for, you know. And then you get to go. Now we're in the underground department store area, kinda. I do like the idea that the department store is just kind of connected. It's also this funny guy. I love that for a long time, in the Heart Gold Soul Silver speedruns, you fought this guy, and it turns out you can just walk by him. Because, a really weird thing that Heart Gold Soul Silver has with the maps is that a lot of the maps are changed in such a way that there's slightly more tiles to, like, look, like, basically, like, you can tell it's because it just kind of looks better like that. So there's oftentimes slightly more tiles, and it looks like than there would be in the original, basically. And it leads to this weird scenario where, like, the tiles, there's, like, more tiles, but the trainers themselves aren't really updated to, like, account for that. So you can kind of just, like, ignore this guy if you just... I believe it's if you just walk all the way to the top. Or is it that you can walk by him? I'm pretty sure it's that you can just walk to the very top and he just can't see that far. It's like a weird thing like that. There's obviously other cases, like a weird one is anytime there's grass and then water to the north of the grass, the very top north tile next to the water will always be like covered in grass, but there isn't actually like a grass tile. So you're just kind of like, it'll look like your character will like animate like they're under grass, but it like looks weird. Like an obvious spot you can see it is Route 44 to the east of Mahogany there, where the water in the middle of the patch just kind of like you can very tell is this guy. Does this guy still just have Raticate? Oh, a Grimer. Wow, truly really expanding his options. I do love that they have this Yuck 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 guy show up again. He is definitely like one of the most iconic members. Like he's definitely like one of the... He's got to be a fan favorite, right? He doesn't even have Eradicate anymore. It's like he was like given different Pokemon. I wonder what the logistics... Oh boy. I wonder what the logistics for that even are. Like that's one of those things you'd have to ask someone at Game Freak. Like this guy has different Pokemon. So is the idea that Team Rocket is like issued Pokemon? Is that why they tend to have weak Pokemon? Because like they're just... The Rocket Grunts don't want to give them strong Pokemon because obviously the executives have to be better than the Grunts. Like there's like a fan theory in Gen 1 where the reason why so many of the Grunts use poison types is because Giovanni's like ground types obviously have a type advantage against them. So the logistics is that if any of the Grunts get rowdy, he can easily manage them. Even like both his Pokemon are both way stronger and also just have a type advantage. Like there obviously are some Rocket Grunts in Gen 1 that use like, you know, Sand Shrew, Sand Slash and whatnot. But generally they're using, you know, Coughing, Grimer, stuff like that still. Rattatas who, once again, don't really have a great matchup against, you know, Rhydon and whatnot. Hey look, it's Sleep Talk. This is a funny place to put this TM, I feel like. I wonder how many people got this and immediately got use out of it. Now this guy gives us a key card. Hell yeah. Please save the radio tower. I do like the idea that this game kind of like this is like obviously it all kind of ties back into the fact that this game has like a big emphasis on like radio stuff. Like that's even like the logistics of the unknown. Why there's those new unknown rooms is because it's like the rooms opened up because of the radio waves. And how this game, like obviously even the Japanese version has the mobile adapter, which kind of ties into, cell phone towers and radio waves and all that jazz. Like they really leaned into that aspect in a way. Thank you, Aaron. Your ponytail is very cute. I do agree. It's a very beautiful beast. But I do like how once again Crystal expands on that. Like once again, if nothing else, Crystal really does expand and lean into more world building, for better or for worse, in many ways. We haven't even listened to the Team Rocket radio thing. I might as well listen to that because like how many people ever bother listening to it? It is like it's actually like a cute detail. There's like an actual like I think all the radio. Yeah, like all the radio signals have been overridden. It's always the Team Rocket ahem. Like this is such a cute little detail. They've literally like hijacked all the different like channels. Giovanni, can you hear? We did it. A lot of people love to like joke about the fact that it's like, oh, well, what did Team Rocket do in this game? Oh, they took over a radio tower, big deal. And it's like, yeah, but this game makes a big deal about their radio signals. Fuck, like the literal previous thing that you do is that Team Rocket was using like signals or like I don't think it was specifically radio signals. Actually, maybe it was radio signals or like you know what I mean. Like it's using those kind of signals to like actually directly mess with Pokemon, right? They're forcing Pokemon to evolve. And that's like such a cool little thing. That's why the shiny Gyarados exists. So obviously like that situation almost exists specifically to be like, hey, this is a big deal because they can actually do shit. And it is kind of nice. That's something I'll give Heart Gold Soul Silver credit for. That they have the event where you see that they did in fact get in contact. Like Giovanni actually was in fact planning to come over here and like hang out with them or would do whatever he wanted to do. But of course, because, he has the worst luck, Celebi fucking time travels you just to cock-block his plan. We can actually listen to this song anywhere we want to now, which is kind of nice. Boop boop boo doo 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 doo. Like I love that. What does this guy even say? I must warn the others. They didn't do a very good job. I do appreciate that like Buena is there and then she's just like, huh? What's today's password? Help! Of course, it's funny. There we go. Alright, what's our experience looking like? Jinx is almost leveled up. I like to keep... This is the point in the game where I like to keep my Pokemon pretty evenly leveled because like... not that it's that big a deal, but like... All these fights are like really easy, like I said, that's kind of the problem. Fights are just so easy that it's not really like... You might as well just keep all your Pokemon around the same level. Like, this is a good time to level up your weaker Pokemon, if you haven't been. More Eradicates. It's funny because, like, there's that one Rocket Grunt in Mount Moon in Gen 1 that has, like, a level 16 Eradicate that, like, owns your butt. Actually, is it level 15? It might be level 15, actually. It's a low-level Eradicate, but it owns your butt because it has Hyper Fang. And it's, like, it's funny to think, like, that's, like, before Gym 2. Meanwhile, in this game, after we've done 7 gyms, we're fighting, like, a level 24 Eradicate. It's, like, barely leveled up. That's partially because, like I said before, Johto's, like, less dense as a region, so you just don't level up as much, but it's like, it is still weird. I will say, I do wish that they were just a little tougher. That is really my one big problem with this game. Is I feel like the rocket stuff is cool, but like this is like beating a dead horse. But I just feel like they're just all just a little too low level. Ekans and Arbok. That's the Pokemon you tend to see on them. The lady grunts. They like their snakes and they like their mandrakes. You know, they love screaming into your ears so loud it shatters your eardrums. You know, don't look into that. I'm sure you could find some way to say I'm like secretly being misogynistic, and I promise you, I'm all for the mateys. God, I'm all for equal rights, baby. We all deserve to live, you know. Let people do what they want to do, you know. That's my motto. None of my business. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't give a shit. It's funny how that's become such a hot topic lately. Like, is it really that big a deal to just let people be people? Like, come on, man. Why do you care so much? That's what I say. Life is too short. That is really what I think it kind of comes down to. Is that life is too short for you to waste it caring about what the fuck other people are doing. Like, are you really gonna waste your life just like hating on people? It's like life's too short, man. Like, can't we just love each other? I mean, you know, aren't we all secret? Like, you know, it's like the saying, you know, you don't really know. Is this where I come out of the closet or something? Like, you don't really know until you know. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe I am actually bisexual. You never know. I've just never met the right guy. Hard to say. I do find it funny that this guy's like, oh, I'm the Team Rocket Fortress. His Pokemon is the same level, or like it's the same stuff you've been seeing. It's just a Golbat, but then it's like, it's a level 36 Golbat, and all of a sudden it's just like, wow, this guy's actually like tough. This guy is like secretly, this guy's actually kind of a huge little like spike in difficulty. I feel like it's just a Golbat, but the fact that it's level 36 is like really intimidating. Like considering we've been fighting like low level 20 stuff. Like, this is actually like a huge boost in level. This, if you look at it relatively speaking, this actually might, honest to God, be one of the biggest, like, spikes in level in, like, the whole series. It is actually such a huge jump. It's partially also because he only has one Pokemon, but still. I think, he definitely deserves to be able to call himself the Team Rocket Fortress. Because even this lady, I think, just has, like, level 30 or something like that. It's, like, level 30, 30, 32 or something like that. This is something I actually think Pokemon is really good at doing in, like, even early on, is, like, gender equality, I feel like. Maybe this is a bit of an odd topic to bring up now, but it's, like, in Gen 1, like, it feels like a lot of it is just, like, they just didn't want to have to go out of their way to have to make multiple sprites for all, like, male and female versions of all the classes. But as early as Gen 2, they're already making, you know, male and female grunts. You've got male and female executives. You've got... The Gen 3 especially went hard, I feel like went hard on this. Like, they have male and female psychics. There's a lot of, like, gender equivalent classes, even when they aren't necessarily just... like, you know, like just psychic male versus psychic female. You know, you have black belt versus crushkin, you know, something like that. Or, even this game has like camper versus picnicker. Cool, I mean, even Gen 1 had cool trainer male versus cool trainer female. This is something I feel like from the very beginning, Pokemon's been actually like quite good at doing. And in fact, I want to bring attention to something I've always thought was really shitty. Is that Gen 3 has male and female triathlons, and then the ORAS remakes, like, actually, like, got rid of this for some reason. There's a bunch of lady triathlons in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and every single one of them is gone in Omega Ruby, Alpha, Sapphire. It's only male triathlons now, and I thought that was such a downgrade. It's such a minor thing, but it's like, why remove them? You know what I mean? Like, why just get rid of a trainer class like that? Are you telling me women can't be athletes? What are you trying to say, Game Freak? You know, it's one of those things. You know, I have Puffed Up. We can just go in straight in here. I was thinking like Puffed Up isn't the greatest matchup against Houndoom, but it's fine. I always thought, like, I like Houndoom on this guy, but, like, in some ways, I kind of wish... I've always thought, like, it would be kind of cool if he used a Giovanni-inspired team. Like, wouldn't it be cool if he used, you know, like, Rhydon, Kangaskhan, or something like that? At least as, like they should have at least... I feel like he has a Houndour and a Coughing, and it's like, I feel like it would have been cool if he had a Houndour and a Rhyhorn, you know what I mean? Houndoom's fine for this guy, but, like, I feel like Coughing's just a throwaway, you know what I mean? I wish they gave him something to, like, be inspired by Giovanni, even if it's just, like, a generic ground type. Because, ironically, Gen 1 is better for this. There are, despite the more limited Pokemon, there are rocket grunts in Gen 1 that use, like, Sand Slash and, like, a couple other weirdo Pokemon like that. There's, for some reason, that one random juggler in the Silphco who just uses... like Drowsy and Kadabra. Like, for some reason, there's just one... like, that is probably the most... one of the weirdest trainers ever in the whole series. There's just... in an area infested by scientists and rocket grunts, there's just one random non-rocket scientist trainer who's just... but, like, he talks like he's a rocket grunt. But then he's just not a rocket grunt, and it's just for the excuse of giving him, like... he gets psychic types, you know? It's weird. Thank you, Mosh! You've saved the day, and then he gives us the clear bow. This is one of those things that, once again, definitely handled better in this game. I really I get why, like, I totally get why they do it like this, but it's just one of the many things. I hate how linear they ended up making the remakes in many ways. Like, the fact that you have to fight Lugia Ho-Oh to complete the plot, and the fact that you have to do Sprout Tower. Sprout Tower, actually, I complained. I said I was fine with, and I complain about it now. But, like, I think for all that's worth, I do think I'm fine with that for the most part. Oh, definitely talk to this lady. Get Rain Dance. This is actually Sunny Day, right? Rain Dance is in the... whatchamacallit, Slowpoke Wild. Did I get Rain Dance, actually? Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did that already. I wasn't 100% sure. I kind of forgot. It's been a bit. Woohoo. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I can really... like, should I go do the route, or should I just end it here and just be like, whatever? I think I could. It is Sunday. Did I already get the magnet? I don't even remember if I have the magnet already. I'm gonna actually double check. Do I have Sunny's magnet? I think I already got this. Yeah. It actually tells you their names. That's the little kid brother. Now that we've beaten Team Rocket, what does Team Rocket actually unlock? I don't think it actually unlocks anything. It just lets you fight Claire. Which... I might do that before I do Route 45. Actually, one last thing I'll do is I'll fish up a Krabby, so I can trade it for the Voltorb and just get that trade out of the way. Might as well. Like, why not? I can also go to World Islands. Is Krabby just an overworld encounter in the World Islands? I think it is, because I think the World Islands has similar encounters to Seafoam. Can you fish up Krabby in this game? I think you can, right? Surely? You can, like, right here? I'm not sure if I'm wrong about that. So here's the funny thing. I have memories of being able to fish up Krabby here because, if you know the ROM hack Crystal Clear, I actually routed a Smeargle speedrun for that game one time. I have the notes for it, actually, on my, paste bin. Which is it's a funny thing to say, but I do have that. Let me move the good rod up here. And one of the things I do in that is I have to fish up a Krabby in Olivine City with a Super Rod, of course. Okay, I wasn't sure because Crystal Clear has a lot of the same encounters, but it also changes a lot of encounters here and there. Like, it's kind of inconsistent at times, but One of the things I do is I fish up a Krabby with the Super Rod because it knows Guillotine. And I copy Guillotine, however you want to say, because, of course, with an X accuracy, you can just make Smeargle just always hit Guillotine and like insta-kill stuff, which is nice. We'll cut. Now I can go ahead and get the only other Voltorb you can get in this game. That, you know, doesn't require you to use Eliminate Encounter. And, you know, obviously that's good for the thing. I guess I can actually do the radio stuff right after this, which makes sense to do. Let's quickly go ahead and, well, I guess we'll just deposit Gyarados. I guess I'm gonna have two It's fine. I'm gonna have two Voltorb and an Electrode in the PC. But it's like, I mean, what's the problem with that? You know, like, screw you guys. I like my Krabby. I mean, Krabby's cute. I like Krabby. Krabby's one of those Pokemon I feel like people like to like shit on because it's a physical water type, and it's like, come on, man, let the cool Pokemon, like, it's a little different. You know, why can't it just exist? It's just another one of those things. It's like, man, like, Krabby obviously does benefit a lot from the physical special split, but I kind of like the days where it was just a mostly physical mon that just happened to have a good signature move that kind of helped compensate for its weak special attack. Like, Krabby and Kingler kind of, obviously it's better in Gen 1 when Crabhammer is a guaranteed critical hit. Like, it's actually really good in Gen 1. And I think Pokemon could have used more of that back in the day. Like the thing is that, yeah, obviously at the end of the day, certain Pokemon suck because they just don't have moves to take advantage of their stats. And I think part of that problem is what I was talking about earlier with the physical special split, like the forced stab, basically. Nice paralysis cure berry. This guy's name is Tim. He's got 29189. Alright. I guess we'll do the radio stuff. I'll fly over here and I can just deposit in the PC. I'm in here. La-di-da. We'll tune into Buena because it is nighttime. I think it might actually be too late for that because it's past midnight. I think Buena stops at midnight. So I might not actually be able to do that. But I can at least do the lottery and we'll see where we... You know, I've got a decent chance of winning. I'll actually double check. Yeah, Buena ends at midnight, unfortunately. Alright, let's see. What's shaking here, buddy? Absolutely. I think it checks from right to left, which throws people off sometimes. Damn. Please tune into our radio shows. Yeah, I think that's probably a good point to just, let's go fly to Blackthorn and we'll end it here. Like, is there anything else I could do? With Blackthorn done. No, because the civilians in Reiko, we already dealt with that. They show up after Price. Or, like, after the Rocket hideout in Mahogany. I guess this does unlock the mart here. Which I guess I'll quickly show off. I like that this mart's slightly special because it's like it's locally run. What do they sell here? They sell the Rage Candy Bar, which is nice. They also actually sell Revives and Hypers, which is kind of nice. I do think it's funny that you get a pink bow from Tuscany, and then you also get another one from... Are my Pokemon healed? Not from the Krabby, at least. I mean, I might as well. I think it's just Farfetch for damage, but whatever. It is funny you get two pink bows. I think it would have been kind of nice if Mary gives you a polka dot bow, but I guess at the end of the day, that would make the Jigglypuff polka dot bow less special, even if it is functionally the same item. I did always appreciate that this is the one gen where they actually, like, made two different items that boosted the same stat, and like there's no functional difference between each of them. Because, like, technically, like, obviously Gen 4 onward there's the plates, but like the plates at least exist for Arceus. Even if in practice the plates are essentially the same otherwise. Like, the plates are essentially just better type items then. Because they work as type boost items, but also, you know, give Arceus a boost for judgment. Is there anything I'm missing? I think that's it. There's probably some super minor thing I haven't done, but like, whatever. We'll end things here. I think, yeah, I'm gonna do Blackthorn and stuff before, so I can get Waterfall, and then I'll do, you know, we can show off Karate King or whatever. That'll be it for this part, though. So, see you guys later.